Hello, it's me again, and this is a bit annoying, the bar on the top. So yeah, this is Python Zero to Hero again. If you are new to here, because I know that I was advertising in remote Python pizza yesterday, so I hope there's some of you that maybe know this tutorials from there, so you're new to this. And so in case you don't know, this is an online absolute beginner Python tutorial. So it is, of course, like obviously it's free because you probably like now watching it on Twitch or watching it on when I uploaded it. So it's a free series of workshop, and I'm trying to teach you to do Python from you don't have Python, you have never done anything like Python, or even like never done programming or coding before, then I am trying to teach you to go from zero to become a hero, a Pythonister. So every week at the same time, it's like same time for me. If we like go on forever, like not forever, but like if we go to like further, and then we have the time that UK as a very funny summertime thing. If the summertime ended, it will still be 1 p.m. for me for in UK. So you can I would suggest you follow me on Twitch so you could catch me when I'm live. You can ask me questions when I'm live, and I also have a box in my Twitch that you can ask questions. So far, like not nobody is using it, so I'm a bit disappointed. I really love questions, so if you can, the best would be ask me live so I can answer live. If not, then leave me a suggestions or questions down there, and I would definitely check it out. And also, all these slides will be available. So I always put the link at the beginning, so you can, if you're watching now, you can just like grab it and follow along at your own pace. And also, there are some like sometimes I put links there that would be for reference, so it will be quite useful to have the slides. And also, we would do some coding, and at the end, I will upload everything to GitHub. I'm also thinking about like doing maybe a one-off tutorial about GitHub. I may not do it on Sunday because I want to keep it like this one more Python focused. So I'm thinking about doing it on Tuesday, when because like that's the only day that I'm not streaming. So that's the only day like is my break is from streaming, and or maybe Saturday, but Saturday or sometimes I have the conference and stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing a one-off Git tutorial. If you heard about Git, you never used it before, or you're just new to Git, you think it's super complicated to use. Um, I will try to help you understand Git and how you can use Git to help you. Like for me and my colleague, we are like because we use Git so much that it's like kind of like second nature. So I'm trying to make you become that, and so the best way to know when I'm live will be follow me on Twitter. I always tell people that I'm live like maybe sometime beforehand. Like today I send some tweets like half an hour before this. So just hope that people could catch me live, because again, like I love people watching live and ask questions. So if you are watching it live now, let me know by saying hi in the stream. I would really appreciate that. I know people are watching, and that I am there to help them. So that's it for me. Maybe I'll give you a brief introduction about me because I'm still expecting new people to join. So I'm Chuck. I involve in lots of open source projects, and why I love open source is that it's the sharing of knowledge. It's like you're not high. Like if you have a good idea of doing something, making a software happen, like you're not hiding it from everybody. You're just sharing it, and people contribute like to your project. They are also sharing their knowledge to help you. So I think this is something very important, especially like we're in a time that internet is quite accessible. It's not accessible like still for maybe for some countries that is not that developed yet, but like that's the goal. Like I want people to have access to knowledge. Everybody, if everybody can have access to knowledge, I think that was like more like helping the equality and making people having a fair education. Like people could learn whatever they their heart decide to. And also, I help the community by organizing conferences. So now most of them go online, which actually like the remote Python pizza. So it's like an online conference happened yesterday. I was speaking there. I was helping out, and it's amazing community. And I think people are getting more comfortable with socializing online. So I really like that. You can see that I'm doing streaming now, so I really enjoyed it. I want to, connect with people online, even though we can't go out like before. Um, yeah, because I kind of like I like social, but I don't mind socialing in my room, so that's great. Um, right, that's it about me. So let's go back to Python. So mm, let's recap what we have learned last week. So actually, like the week before, we already start talking about some Python objects. Um, but last week we have added some new ones. So we learned list, dictionary, and boolean. So they will come back this week. So it's you can see that things are building on top of each other. You can see the homework. You always use something that you have learned in the previous weeks. So if you are watching this like for the first time, or if you're watching live, welcome. You please stay on. But if you're catching the tutorial, the videos, please I usually will link the playlist so you can find the previous episodes. So yeah, please start from the beginning. You can skip ahead if you feel comfortable, but I would recommend you check what I've covered before. Um, so yeah, we have used some Python functions that is mainly useful for list and dictionary. And I also explained a little bit about mutable and hashable. So yeah, so I won't explain again because this kind of a complicated idea. I covered it last week. I'm expecting that you won't fully understand when you first came across it. That's fine. We will try to also like explain from time to time when we come across something related. We'll explain again, so eventually you will understand why. But like for me, giving a beginner's tutorial, sometimes I cover stuff that's not that people usually won't cover in a beginner's tutorial. I I want to do that because I would like the beginners to have an idea that what they don't know yet. Sometimes it's difficult. I don't expect them to, I don't expect you or people watching that understand that or everything. But it's fine. I just want you to know that those things exist, and if you come across them in the future, you won't freak out. You know that there's something that you may. I hope it rings a bell that it's related to that, so you can help yourself to find out the answer by using online resources. Like you have a clue where to look rather than you have no idea what that is. So yeah, that's why I always included some information that some extra information that it's fine if you don't understand it. Don't be disappointed. I don't expect you. Actually, nobody expect you to like understand it the first time, but it's just that good. It's just good to know more that in the future it will help you to be, because I have go through the gauntlet of like, oh, what's this, and then you don't have any idea. You don't even have any idea like how to Google it or like what to type on Stack Overflow. What does that call? So so yeah, I think giving some like knowledge regarding what that is for the beginner, even though they maybe it's like too much for them to understand, I think that's a good idea. So come to this, like uh, do you have any questions? If you can type, I know Sunday, even like now it's not morning, but it's still quite early for people, on Sunday. Because for me, I stay up late, like usual. Yeah, I think I think people are like staying up, like sleeping later and later and later. So I think like that's why it has been a challenge. Maybe but I'll keep doing this. I hope that it is useful for people. Um, yeah. So if you have questions afterwards, uh, yeah, because you're watching afterwards, like I said, Twitch got a box that you can ask questions, or if I'm on Twitter, I'm always happy to answer questions on Twitter. Um, so uh, let's talk about what we're gonna learn this week. So comparison. Um, so what are they? So remember we have the boolean true or false. So like we sometimes we don't know things whether they're true or false. We want to check whether something is true or false. So you have comparison. So you see like they are greater than or equals to, smaller than or equals to, equals or not equal. So these are the comparisons that you can check whether something is true. Um, so let's just do some simple things on actually I have another coding scene that you can see on my coding, because later in the slides you'll see that we have more complicated programs. So it's actually more helpful to have a IDE open. So I have my Atom open, so you like rather than just using the terminal, so that's easier. With this one I can actually just show you in the terminal. So Python, right? I hope it's big enough for you. I try to make it as big as possible, but you know, if it's too big, the screen won't be able to take the whole line. So it's also annoying in its own way. And there's something at the bottom. I don't know what that is. I just ignore it for now. So 6 greater than 4. This is very simple. So true. This is like more intuitive. So this is like primary school mathematics. So I hope you kind of comfortable with it. So 6, 6 greater than 6 is false, because well 6 is equal to 6, not greater than 6. But you can have greater than or equal to, then it become true. So same apply to smaller than. So yeah, and so yeah, just like it's the same thing. Apply to smaller than and equal. So instead of just equal, remember equal is like assigning some values to a variable, right? So we have x equal to 1, x equal to hello. So we won't use just equal. So for checking whether things are equal, we use equal equal. Different programming languages will have different way of distinguishing the assignment and equals. And in Python, it's just instead of writing equal, it'll be equal equal. So be careful about that, because when you have if you have like if you put equal instead of equal equal, it will do things that you are not expecting. Because for example, I will do a little bit of like if, but like we'll cover it in the next slide. So for example, we have x equals to 6, right? Oop, I can't type. Okay, it's morning for me. Like I said, I would stay up till 6. This is so bad. 6 yesterday, because the conference kind of like ended around 11 for me, and then we have this after party chat thingy. So people stay on and chat. I love it, but like it's and I kind of stay up late, and then I was preparing this, so kind of stay up very very late. Oh, okay. So x equals 6, and so what do you want to do? Maybe like if x is 6, then oop. Oh yeah. Uh, yeah, this is like the thing about the terminal, because like sometimes you have unexpected indentation that you can't see very well. Okay, so yeah, remember I'll cover this later, so you have to indent when you have an if. But right, so print uh, you know 86. So yeah, like because we set x equal to 6 before, so how about like now x is 5, right? So we do the if again. So what happened is that it's not equal to 6. Um, but if you do things like this instead of equal equal, so what will happen? It's actually give you a syntax error. So yeah, actually Python is very nice that it will tell you that nope, you can't do this. But for some programming language, it will just become true all the time. So I think like I would rather like I've been told that I made a mistake before it runs, rather than it runs kind of under the hood is doing something that I'm not expecting. So yeah, like so in Python it's like you're kind of protected by Python itself to tell you that like you are wrong, but um yeah, but always be careful. So yeah, okay, not equals to. So it's like instead of that, you have not equals to, and then parenthesis is not 6. Right, so it's not 6 because 6 is 5. Um, yeah, so that this is very simple, and in we have learned it last week that if you check something inside something, usually a list, and then you use in. For example, you have a I always use the fruit because I'm playing Animal Crossing, by the way. So like it's always about the fruit, and I'm trying to have a fruit party today later, and invite all my friends to come to my island. Of course, like in the game. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. And after this, I think I gotta do some decorations for the party. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I. Oop. Yeah, that's how I kind of uh, having connection with people right now just by playing the game. Um, Orange, yeah. Well, but banana is not in the game as like a fruit that grow on the tree. They don't have banana tree, but I would love to have banana. They are like, super cute. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's a very like nutritious food as well. So it's like it's easy. You can have it as a breakfast. So yeah, it's a good one. Okay, so we have a list. So you want to check whether, let's say, oh, I will assign this to list first, so because I can reuse it. So my list, because I don't want to think of a fancy name. It's just my list. So okay, is a peach in my list. Sorry, I typed something wrong. It's not peach. Is not in my list because I only have apple, banana, and orange. So how about banana? Uh, Right, it's true. So yeah, so that's in. So check whether something is in the list. That's actually very useful a lot of the time. Actually, you see it later in the example because I have an example program that we gotta write together. So you're gonna see it in action. Um, is a bit funky. So is kind of like equal equal. So you can have like before we have x equal to 5. So let's do it again. So make sure that x equal to 5. So x is 5. It's true. So it's kind of like equal equal. Um, but there's a catch. So let's try that thing that I have on the slide. So a is equal to 1. Uh, so 8 is a list that only have 1. So b is also a list that also have 1. So is a equals to b? Yeah, like we can see that, right? Is a like a is b? What's that? It's false. What? So it go back to the concept of mutable and hashable, right? So for things like um integer like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those things are hashable objects. So they are so so when they are assigned to x, so basically the like so in Python actually like all these like numbers, they are actually a object that is already created there. And so x equal to 5 is just like the ID of x will be the ID of that 5 things sitting there. But if you create a list like call it a, um, and create another list called b, even though you store the same content, but remember list they are mutable. So actually like in this case, for example, if you like a, so append 2 to a, so so if A is having the same address as B, so say we change. So like now, if A is 1, 2 and B is only 1, so because A and B are having a different address, so when you change A, it won't change B. Um, so actually, so what A is B means is just checking whether the ID are the same. So I think you can do things like that. I'm not so sure. Yeah. So this is the ID of A. So this is what it is. It's like and every object in Python, or actually in like other things as well in computer, that they will have an address. it's kind of like an ID for them, like and like because like I said, B is a different object, so you got a different ID. It's kind of like somebody got the same name, like John Smith. Two-person named John Smith, but they are two separate person. They will have a different, let's say, like ID number, like passport number, because they are different person. They will have a different passport number. Um, so yeah, so when let's say John Smith change his name into like, John want to change his name to David for whatever reason, maybe dodging the debt or something. I don't know. There may be a reason that he changed his name. So John Smith become David Smith, but the ID of that person won't change. The passport number would be the same. Maybe it's just like say that, oh, he was also known as John Smith before. But the other John Smith, uh, let's say the first John Smith live in London, the second John Smith live in Birmingham. So John Smith in Birmingham won't become like David Smith because like they are two person. Like John Smith in London changed his name to David Smith. John Smith in Birmingham won't get his name changed. So this is what happened here with A and B, right? Um, so because they are mutable, so they are like, the content can change, but their ID won't change. What if B equals A? So let's say John Smith in London make a fake part. So let reset first. So like, it's John Smith in London. I should use like that example, but I can't think of it yesterday. So yeah, John Smith. There's a John Smith in London. There is a John Smith in Birmingham. So so now what happened is that actually the John Smith in Birmingham is actually the John Smith in London. He just moved to Birmingham. Okay, so actually B is A instead of B is something else. So what happened now is that if you check the ID of A and ID of B, so they're the same person, so they should have the same. If you move from London to Birmingham, you still keep the same passport number, right? So the government knows that you're just the same person. Um, so now what happens if like A dot append? Oh, A is B. Now this is true because they are the same person, right? And so what if I do A dot append 2? So now like John Smith with this ID, like he was in London, he's now living in Birmingham. He changed his name to David Smith. So yeah, because like this is the same person, even though like John Smith now in London because like in Birmingham, but he's the same John Smith as John Smith in London, so they both changed their name to David Smith. So this is like explain a little bit about mutable things. So I hope it helped you to understand those like funny behavior that I showed you last week, and so is sometimes it's useful in that way. I am not expecting you to come across is that much, because it's actually not a very like beginner thing, but you may came across it in the future. So that's good to know for now. And right, right. Let's go back to the presentation. It's easier for me to maneuver. Right. So yeah. So true or false. So I just want to recap about Boolean because this comparison, the result of all these comparison will give you a Boolean. And with Boolean, you can do if else. So I want to recap a little bit. So what is Boolean is true and false with a capital, case. You can have logic operation on them, and so sometimes you can do funny things by changing the type. So um, things like with zero and empty string, they actually like consider false if you change them to Boolean, and other things would consider true. So the thing I want you to note is that for and, if the first argument is false, the second one will be ignored actually when Python see that. So that's actually become useful in the case that I'm gonna cover in the next slide. But yeah, like if because for and to be true, both of them need to be true. So if the first one is false, I don't care about the second one; it will be false anyway. So Python will just skip it. Same apply to or is the other way around, right? Or is like if either one of them is true, then it's true. So if the first one is true, I don't have to look at the second one. I know that it'll be true anyway. So so that's something that if you can remember, that would be great, because we gotta do something later that uses this behavior. So yeah, if else, is we would call that is a branching control. So because sometimes you want to do things differently according to what your according to some, like, if, for example, you have a variable that you want to do different things if it got a different value, because this variable could be, next week we got to talk about functions. So this variable could be provided by another part of the program or the user, so you actually don't know um, what this variable would be. So you want to check it to and let your program behave differently according to the value of this variable. For example, um, oh, so for if, so there's three things you could do. So if is just checking at the beginning. Else would be anything else. So elif is actually a short form of else if. So what happened is like this, right? So if your age is less than 18, so let's say I'm a bartender, right? I'm like, if look at you, you're a kid, right? You obviously you're just 7 years old, or even 10 at max. So if your age is less than 18, sorry, no beer. I can give you an orange juice, yeah, um, that's obvious. But what else? Like, so for people who looks like they are 18 or above, so we go to the next one. But well, you can have just one else. So like, oh, serve beer. Just serve everybody else beer, right? Just you can actually let me go to the coding bit and show you what I mean. So let's go to this window. Yeah. So actually, I was gonna use the terminal this time. So I'm gonna be lazy and just looking at the terminal. And so yeah, age. So age is, let's say, 15, right? Oop, no, let's say like 20. So yeah, maybe a college student. So if age less than 18, like if you look like a baby, of course, you know, um, just print. Let's print this time. No beer. And you can use else to say like anybody who looks like you're above, 18, then you can print have beer. So let's say this is like just in my house, like, or family barbecue, right? So I know them, like whether someone is older than 18 or not. So yeah, like, okay, I know you, Tom, you're 20 years old, and yeah, just have some beer. You're old enough. It's fine. Um, but because if you work in a bar, there's this like challenge 25 rules. That what it means is like when if you're a bartender, you're serving alcohol. If someone looks very young, like Tom, he's like a college student and a 20, he obviously look quite young. I'm not sure, like whether he's like above or below 18. So what I gotta do is like I gotta challenge you. I gotta want you to show your ID for me, so make sure that I'm legal to sell you, like to serve you beer. So what happened now is like it's like the slides. So um, if age is less than 18, obviously, like if you're in a pub that someone's very young, so obviously you just turn them down, say sorry kid, no beer for you, orange juice or Coca-Cola. But what if somebody like Tom come in? So you have L if, so like for anyone else, I still want to check the second condition. So age is less than 25. So show me ID, please. Right? And else have beer. Typo. Okay. This is horrible. Like, that's why this is not different. So I have to do all this again, which is fine. I can just roll back. So where's my else if? Yeah. Okay, fine. Especially for someone like me that's like horrible in typing. This is not very good. bear with me. And right. So this time should work. Yeah. So like Tom, you're a young lad. So you look quite young. I'm not so sure whether you're above or below 18. So show me your ID. Um. So yeah, this is if, else, and else if. Um. So sometimes we have to avoid none. So what happened is that for example, I have x equals to none, right? And I want to check whether x is none. So what about x equals to none, right? Well, it's true. Oh, it may be a new thing that is in Python that I didn't realize. Because yeah, sometimes you can't do things like that. For example, uh, like y, let's say y equals to true, right? So what if I do x and y? Mm, what happened? It just got freaked out, is it? Yeah. So like, yeah, for example, x and true. Yep. It just got freaked out if x is none. So what you can do is equal, which is like surprising because I always do like x is none. But yeah, but they're like in this case they are the same because none is again like an object that Python already like put it there for you to use, so it won't change. It's always having that ID. Um, but yeah, if you do comparison like and or with none, then is horrible. So sometimes we want to avoid them. So what we got to do is like something very common that I would do is that if x is none, because like x could be a variable, right? So let's say age, right? Again, we use the beer example. So what if this person, um, you know, like I haven't seen this person. Like it's just like I was working at another corner of the bar, and just someone told me, "Oh, could you serve like could you give me like beer for this customer?" I haven't seen this customer. I don't know. Like I can't have an age judgment, so it's none. So I don't know. I don't know this guy's age. So and so now if you do the same thing again, I think what would happen is that okay. Ooh, that's quite a lot. Eh, yeah. Oops. Ah, that's wrong. Okay, I gotta do it in the terminal here because yeah, now it's getting really finicky. Okay, so look at my atom. So this is much better. So, I have to open a new file. Yeah, I'm a bit tired of typing things there. Okay, so age. So for example, this is before, right? Tom is age is 20, and if sorry, I have to type this again. I'm so sorry about that. I should have been using this. If age is so print beer. Else else if age is less than 25, then print show me ID, right? And then else, yeah, then you can have beer, right? Okay, so this is the program that we write. So I will just save it here in our folder this week. Say demo.py, right? So this is not very interesting. So, but this is better than typing in the terminal. Yeah, I can do it like in a if course. Okay, fine. Okay. So let's run that Python demo.py, and you can see that show me ID here, highlighted. Yeah. So what if now I haven't seen this customer? Just like my colleague tell me, oh, could you give me a beer to serve to this customer? I haven't seen this customer. So what happened is that yeah, I would have an error because I can't compare a non-type. So age is actually like a none, so you can't compare none and 18. So yeah. So this is where none could cause problem in a if else course, and that's why I said in slides to oops, can you still see it? Oh yeah, like avoid none. So how to avoid none? So here, I can, I can also like do if to wrap it up. You can also do things like this. That. By the way, is it like big enough for you? Yeah, that's why it's also good to have someone watching live. Then I can like see if there's anything wrong. If age is none. Yeah, that's why I said like I always do if, right? So like if it's none, it's not none. Sorry, if it's not none. So if I've seen the customer, I can do my logic here. Else, I would just be safe, right? I won't serve any beer. So, why this is yeah, sorry, you got the idea. I won't repeat that, but um, yeah. But if I haven't seen the customer, I just want to be safe. I don't want to be like let people drink illegally. So no beer for you, right? So yeah. So now it will no beer. But this is quite, it's like a nested for loop, and you can actually do something better, taking advantage of the and behavior that I told you before. So let's go back to this one. So what happened is that I can do if age is age is none. So, yeah, actually it's or. Sorry about that. Like so the first thing that's let me put the parentheses here so you can see it easier. Yeah. So basically, what happened here is that because or we check the first one first. So if age is none, then just like you don't have to do anything else. Just it is no beer, no beer for you. Um. So what you want to avoid is that you want to avoid executing the second bit that's age less than 18, because if age is none, then this will give you an error because I can't compare. I don't know age. But if you have this first, so if age is none, then Python will just ignore the second one, right? So even this could be give you an error if age is none, because Python will skip it by using the first one. So yeah, so it would just like no beer and stop. Let's see if it's really that. Yeah. So this is more. I think this looks better than what I've done before because it's no nested if, and it you can put these two cases together, but don't do it the other way around. So you have these two cases, also no beer, right? But don't do it the other way around because yeah, now you have an error again because like I said, Python will check the first one first because this is the condition that is causing the problem. So you want to check the one that is, definitely you won't have a problem first, right? So this is kind of like a hacking or like black magic of Python, but this is super useful. Trust me. I write a lot of Python again recently because I am developing the Python client, and yeah, actually, like this is everywhere because sometimes you need to check whether something is none or not. So this using this behavior is super useful. Okay. Um, this is something more advanced. Just to let you know, sometimes people do things super condensed. So what happened here is that this is the if-else statement in one line. Um, so what happened here is that the default will be like mother, so parent will be mother. You know, um, if gender. So this is actually like a sentence, right? Parents would be mother if the gender is a female, else would be father. So this parent would be your mother if they're a female, else they would be your father. Um, so yeah, I don't have much to add because this is just like a sentence, it's just like an English sentence. So the true condition if uh, you know the true true statement, not what do you call that, like the true thing like come inside it, and then if condition else is the else thing. So yeah, um just to let you know, when you see something like this is what they're doing. um a for loop another very useful thing, flow control in Python, is that sometimes we do things again and again. Um, so I hope this is big enough for you still. So for example, I have a list. I want to do the same thing for everybody else or everything else, like everything or everybody in the list. So um, this is an example. I can run it for you here and randomly clicking stuff. All right. So my friend is well, these are my friends. So I have a list of friends, and for all like every friend in my friend, just say that you know someone is my friend. So let's save it and run it. Oop, there is and typo. Sorry about that. Yeah, like always typo. Okay. So yes, Andrew is my friend, Emmanuel is my friend, and Erica is my friend. Very straightforward. You just go through them one by one. If you have some experience of other programming language, you know that you write a for loop by looping through the index. So for loop is always you have an index, you increment them, you know, and um, you find what's in it, what was that in the list, and just do that. But the good thing about Python, you can just say like, so this is super like for me when I learned Python, I already did some of the other programming languages, and for me this is super neat. And sometimes I'm still not used to it. And what I would do is like I do something very stupid. For example, I will have an index. So this is the C way of doing it. Index in. So it's like, oh, I want to loop from from because I have 1, 2, 3. So what I gotta do is like I gotta loop from index would be like range 0. So range I will explain as well. So 0 to length of my friend. This is super bad. You see like what I mean like and also you have to yeah. So length of my friend and then step will be 1. So yeah, you just like start from 0. Increase like 1 by 1 and until it reach the end of the list and print that. So this nope, this won't work because I have to because friend is not doesn't exist anymore. So what I gotta do is that I gotta use index to code that in the list. So this is what a C person would do, right? Yeah, it still works, but it's not as nice as what I've done before. And also, like you have to in your mind think like, okay, this is 0 index, so from where to where? From 0, 1, 2. What if you have something like a million? They'll be like, oh my god, like what? Um, so Python is very good because we can do something that we've done before, and um, so yeah, sometimes yeah, well it's not a list of things you go through. You just go through things like I just want to do things like 10 times, right? This is where range become useful. Oh, why I can't copy it? Come on, let me copy it. Ah, right. There's a reason this doesn't let me copy. Okay, now it's copied. Right. Okay. So this doing something 10 times, and so things like here, right? So range 10 basically an easy explanation that it will go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9. So count from 0, count 10 things for me. This is what doing. So I have, um, so what happened with this underscore? Actually, it could be other thing. It could be index again, right? So it will work if it's index, so I've done 10 push-ups because like every time I just like um I've done 1 push-up and added to the count, and then at the end I have 10 push-ups. Um, So it could be num, it could be whatever, but why I use the underscore, right? Underscore is something special in Python. That means that it's a variable that I don't care. So this is like, because for example, if I choose it to num, because num is not used anywhere else, so num is actually, nobody care what num is, because it's just something to hold a place in here. So I can put an underscore in it. This is um, it's not necessary to use the underscore, but you'll see that in a lot of programs, and this is considered to be the correct way, like the Pythonic way of doing it, it's not necessary. Don't worry about it too much. But I'm just saying that if you see the underscore, this is what it is. Yeah, but you can put anything in it, like num or x or well, whatever. So that's it for range. Actually, I want to explain a little bit about range. So range, you can either use it like this way that I've done here. So just put a number here. That means that, give me 10 numbers starting from 0. You can change it to 100. So give me 100 numbers starting from 0. Then you will do 100 push-ups. uh, but you can also use range in another way. So the other way of doing it is that you would give a start, a stop, and a step. So this is like what I showed before, right? The example I showed before. So it's a more customizable way of doing range. Um, so most of the time it's not necessary, but if you need it, it's super handy. So for example, I want to print every step. I want to print so far how many push-ups I've done. So I'll just use count here. And because, the first time when I do a push-up, I want it to be the first push-up. So it's like, it's 1, start from 1. So I'm not starting from 0, so I can't use range 10. So I gotta, use the second use case here that, give a start and start from 1. And stop is stop, this 11 won't be included. So let's try it out. All right. Yeah, so the 11 won't be included. So it's up until the one before. So yeah, like it is like the thing that we have with list. We have that colon uh, 10 thing. That why is it like not including it? It's because it become a better it become a better syntax when we do the simple form, because it's like 0 from 10 not including 10, right? So it will be 0 to 9 if we change it like this. Yeah. So that is just to um, make it adjustable to yeah, to make it match with the simple syntax. um, and um, we can also have the different steps. So for example, let's use this example here. I'm buying shoes, but you only buy shoes in pairs, right? Nobody's like, it's rarely somebody come into a shop and is like, oh, I want the left foot of this boot. So I want to do it like, so it will increment by 2, right? So every time I bought a pair, I will increase the count by 2. So so if we run this, yeah, I have two. So every time I bought a pair of shoes, I have 2 shoes, I have 4 shoes, I have so far and so forth. So you can have different steps in there as well. So this I can think of this could be useful when you do some pagination. So the index will increase by the size of the page. So you need to have the step to be flexible. Yeah, so that's range. List comprehension. So I'm going into like more advanced topic now. So from here, so this list comprehension is more advanced. So if you don't understand, it's fine. Just to let you know, there's something called list comprehension, and it looks like that. So a list comprehension is a condensed way of creating a list. While looping is that, so you can see that instead of doing this, which, oh, come on, let me copy it. Right. So instead of here, that actually I want a list of even numbers. So I go through from 0, so I start from 0 to 9, and multiply by 2, and then put it in result, like, because I want a list, a list of results. So, what if this will give you what you want, but instead of writing how many lines, like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines here, you can do list comprehension, which is 2 lines. So this is what you got to put in the list for. So this is like the for loop that you have, like the first line of the for loop. Yeah. Well, so it still works. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter if you don't do it this way. You can do it the previous way if that's easier for you at the moment. But you'll come across this list comprehension quite a lot. It's popular in Python because this is one of the cool features in Python that makes you write more more easily understandable code for, well, maybe not for beginner, but for Pythonistas. So yeah, so this is called list comprehension. So when you see something like this and you're not so sure, you want to check the syntax, search for list comprehension. So you know what it's called now. Right. So for looping, instead, like, so far we have talked about looping through the list, right? You can also looping through a dictionary. If not, that would be like quite bad, right? So in a dictionary, so just to recap, it's a key value pair. So in theory, you can loop through all the keys because the keys are lists, right? So you can loop through all the keys and find their values. So remember we have the how to. Remember we have the how to dot keys. So it's just like give me back a list of a key. Well, it's not literally a list, but you can change it into a list, so it will be a list of keys or a list of values. But for looping, dot items become quite useful now. I'll show you the example here. Because most of the time you want to have the key and the value looping together. You want to know both of them when you go through this dictionary. So this is an example, so you can see that dot items will give you two things for each step it go through the loop. They will give you the first key, the first value, and the second key and the second value, so on and so forth. So, but actually in the dictionary there's no order. So actually it could be quite yeah, it could be quite like also um, well, this one is actually go from 1 to 3. But be careful there, because sometimes you do some operation with this dictionary, and then the order coming back will be maybe slightly different. Um, yeah, so this is just like to show you what items is useful here in this case. I think we talked about a little bit last time, and we didn't really see how it's become useful. So it's just like instead of just giving you keys or just giving you values, well, here you can actually change it to keys and values, right? Keys, and then so you have key. So this time instead of value, you have to do like how to, remember how to key, right? So this will be the same. So now like there's, you can see Python, you have a lot of way of doing it. So you just like, for now I think because you just started, you just choose a way that you could do it. Don't care about whether it's Pythonic or beautiful. And I think once you get more confidence about it, you know how to do it, then you start looking at how others code. And maybe if, for example, if you're working for um, a, a popular open source library, and chances are the way they code, the style they code is quite following the community standard, then you can learn how they write the code from there. So that's why contribute to open source is actually very good for learning good Python. Most people learn it in the job. If you, for example, if you're a junior dev, so when they onboard you, you may do some pair programming with some senior devs, and you may learn from them how to write a more beautiful code. But well, but if you, let's say if you have a change of career, you hasn't get your junior opportunity yet or junior role yet, you have nobody to learn from, then doing open source is, is the way to go, because people are happy to teach you in open source, and everything is there for you to grab and learn. Yeah, this is another way of doing it, so you can see that it still works, and it just works the same. But it's just like some people, most people will prefer the previous way of doing it. Um, yeah, but don't worry too much. From now, like by now, we just like, if it works, then congratulations, it's fine. I don't really care how you write it. If it works, then yay. Yeah. So instead of list comprehension, you can also have dictionary comprehension. So this is this is like a dictionary that we have the key is like a number just 0 to 9, and the value would be the square of it. So this is square num. So um, yeah, you can see that it's very similar to a list comprehension, but instead of just uh, something here, you just put a key and a value here. Again, if you see something like this, it's just like a dictionary comprehension. It's nothing fancy. Just a cleaner way of writing things, but it's not necessary. You don't have to use it. Um, yeah. Hmm. while loop. So this is a less common loop, I would say, especially for beginners, because you can see that there are actually some danger in it that I will show you afterwards. But it's still common in, if you have go deeper into Python, you can see a lot of you know you will see it quite a lot as well. So what happened is that instead of looping from to everything in the list, you will see in this example that is going through everything is not what I want here. Um, yeah, going something again and again. So it's looping, but it's based on whether a condition to check to stop it or not. So for example here, just explain by example. It's easier to explain by example here. Right, so my music just stopped, and I won't have a peace of mind if I don't have my music, because reason being that my headset may turn off. So sorry, I have to restart it. Okay, fine. Right. Yeah. So well, let's explain this code here. So import random is like we import copy last time, so it's like a standard library module. Don't worry too much. We'll cover that next week. So what it does is that it will let you have a random choice. So you can have a choice. So what this does for now, you just need to remember, like, know that it will just pick a random thing from this list of basket. And so this while loop is like while. So this is the condition. So I'll put this into brackets for you to see right now. So this is the condition. So if this condition is true, um, it will do it again. Yeah, so if it's true, then it would just like, do what's inside it and then come back and do it again. If this condition is false, then it would just like, okay, stop. So it's like, um, so while a condition, and then it'll do the thing again and again when it's true. So only when the condition is false, then it will just stop and, and then move on. Um, So what this is doing is that I have a basket. I just pick a random. So actually there are baskets. So for example, in the supermarket, you have a baskets of fruits. So I just pick some pick from a random basket. So I was like, I don't know which basket is which. They all look the same. It's covered. I put my hand in it, grab it, and I want a banana. Like, I really want to eat a banana, so I want to buy some banana from the shop. So if it's not banana, I would try again. So so when I got it, I would be like, yeah, I have banana. So let's run it. Um, yeah. So well, now this is not very good, like, cause you can't see that, because Python is very fast, right? So you can't see, like, it seems like you just got a banana on first try, but it's actually not. So how about, like, try again? So we just like we make some modification of it. So instead, what we do is that, actually I do it here, I think. Yeah. So okay, explain by this. So um, no, actually no, go back. Okay, I would just modify this one. I changed my mind. So instead of this, I would just store it as a choice. So choice equals to. So what I pick will be stored in here. So if choice while choice is not banana, try again. So I try again, I have to pick another choice. Okay. And now I can print it out. So I got, try again. So this is the F string now, right? Okay, so let's, oh, nope. Did I got it on the first try? I don't think I got it on the first try. That's extremely lucky. Let's try again. Right, yeah, I was extremely lucky. So this time I got an apple and try again, and then I got a banana. Every time it would be different. Yeah, this time I'm like less lucky. I have to get an apple, get an orange, get a banana until I got a pear until I got a banana. Um. So yeah. So this is what it is doing. Actually, this is okay. Now I can explain the next one. Nope, sorry. Nope. Yeah. So, okay, let me explain this code. So, this new code actually use something called break. So, what is break? So, in a while loop, it's very common to use a break and a continue. It also you will see them in for loop as well. Especially like I use break a lot when I am debugging because I in my program I have a for loop, but it have some bug. It got into trouble, so I want to stop it. Like maybe just give me the first one and like stop it at some point so I can go into it and debug it. So break and continue is used in loops, while loop or for loop. Is still common. Um, so break lets you exit the loop. So whenever your code come into break, it will just you just exit the loop and then continue. Continue, it will ignore the rest of the thing in this loop, but it will go back and do it again. Usually they will be used together with if course because you don't want it to stop. Like for example, if you have a while loop, if you want it to stop every time the first time, then why are you writing a loop? Sometimes you have some condition that you check. If that's satisfied, then like stop. So this is different from what we did before um, because we don't check the condition here. um, And actually, there are some problems here, I think. If while true, if choice, yeah, I have to pick a new choice every time, so this should be in here. Yeah, you see that this is dangerous because, oh, the indentation is wrong in this. Right, let me fix this. Right, okay, I don't need this now. So, okay, I need to update this code. So what this does is that, again, I have a basket. So don't check anything, just go into the loop. So you can see I have a comment here, is danger. It's dangerous because if you don't do the checking of condition right, well, if you don't have it at all, what happened is just like, because your stopping condition on the top is always true, it will just go again and again and again and again until the end of the day. No, not the end of the day or at the end of the universe. It will just stop when your computer just saying like, no, I can't handle it anymore, and your computer will crash. Um, So, or if you, or until you kind of, you know, tell it, no, 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 stop. Then no, it's not a good thing. Um, yeah. So this is quite dangerous because, well, nobody would do something like this. This is stupid, right? You know that it's gonna be an infinite loop, and you crash your computer, or you have to manually tell it to stop. But usually people make mistake when they have these um, argument, but this argument is written wrong. So like the one that I copy and pasted before, I made a mistake. I didn't have a new choice every time, so it will go into an infinite loop if I'm not lucky and picking banana the first time. So yeah, it's dangerous. Like even for me, I think like I don't like doing it so much because it's quite dangerous. And usually it's like alert. Make sure you check everything is doing what you want, right? So what I'm doing here is like, well, I don't care. Just go into it. Go into the loop. Pick one now. And if it's a banana, then I've got banana and stop and jump outside of the loop. Don't do it again. Well, if it's not, it will continue to do it again. So let's see what happened. Oh, actually, I want to. Oh yeah, I would just like run run it first. So make sure it runs. Yeah, I've got banana eventually, but I don't know how many times I've done it. So how about I write an else. So like again, I got. So yeah. Mm, wrong. Right. Oop. Where? Okay. Yeah. So you can see like this is more complicated. If if it's banana, I've got banana, stop. If not, I've got, I don't know what I've got. I've got peach, try again. And, go back to the loop, and where it's always choose or always try again until I'm told to break. So this is what happened with break. And he kind of, oops, no, I don't meant to do that. Okay. What if I want everything but oranges? Um, so I try to like make this as an example that, I'll show you the example here. So I have a scenario, right? I randomly pick a fruit, like before. Um, Anything that I got because I've already picked it out from the basket. Because of COVID-19, I've touched it. I don't want to contaminate the others, so I'll just put it in my shopping bag. I'll just buy it. I don't care. Except oranges because I definitely hate oranges. I don't really care about COVID-19 or whatever. I just don't want oranges. So except oranges, I don't. It's fine. I can eat it. I'll just buy it. But oranges, no. I'll put it back or throw it away or put it in the trash bin, whatever. Um, but I really need some banana. I won't stop until I got some banana. Um, so what we're gonna do is to modify this one. Um, so yeah, and while true, then I pick a choice, and if it's banana, then break. Uh, so what I first thing I need is that I need to have a checkout list. So checkout. So this is everything that I would buy. And if it's a banana, then just like instead of I've got banana, I'll just put it. Or maybe I'll also say, yeah, I've got banana, but I'll also put it in the basket, the checkout list, right? So break. Uh, Else I've got something and try again, but I still put it in the basket. But like I said, that I want to avoid oranges, right? So what am I gonna do is that at the beginning, so after I've drawn it at the beginning, I'll check if I got oranges, right? So if I got oranges, then don't put it in the basket, like um, print something, right? Oh no! And continue. So I'll skip everything else and just like, I just like I don't care about all these things, just do it again. No, no, no. Um, yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So I've got oranges, apple, peach. Try again. Oh, I can actually print out check out. Yeah. At the end, I got this will be checkout. Oh, I should. Hmm. And this is enough strain. Right. So I'll print out the basket as well. So you can try it many, many, many times that you'll never have an orange in there because we use continue to skip everything else when it's orange. So yeah, so that this is the one. I gotta rename it as what's that called? Random fruit pie. Okay, so this script will be online and available if you want to have a look afterwards. Um, so the second example, um, and I don't want to scroll down because you're looking at my presentation. Okay. Um, the second example actually is what we did, what I gave you last week as a homework. But you can see it's very difficult to do it without this if else. So what I gotta do is like this week I will show you how to use if all these control flow to make to make it like to do it properly. And also we will have a also a dictionary of how much, and you can actually calculate how much money they pay as well. So let's make a new file and right combine check out the pie. I want to save it first, so I have the syntax highlighting. Right, this one I'll save it as the combine checkout dot pie. Right. So so we have a shop list of Tom and Matt. I forgot what shop list I gave you. Let me check. Homework. Oh, actually, I have two photos. Ooh, not this one. Yeah. So this is their shopping. Actually, I'll just copy this and modify it from here. Right. Okay. So Tom got this, and what else do we need? We need a price list, a price dictionary, price catalog, catalog equals to I have apple that is 1.5 pounds. Things got more expensive, and I got toilet paper. This I don't like this indentation. Okay, you can see I'm obsessed with indentation. Toilet paper is let's think toilet paper, the 6 roll of toilet paper, but it's because of pandemic it's become expensive. Okay, um right, and we have the magazine. So magazine actually I will make it a single because otherwise it's gonna be difficult to calculate. um it's like okay, 10 pounds whatever. And milk is 50p. Oh, oh, by the way, you can like skip the zero, but I think for now it's not a good idea for you because it will be confusing. Um, hmm, ice cream. Uh, it's very difficult to come up with these prices. I haven't go out to do shopping for a while, and I can't forget how all these things cost. Yeah. All right. So this is all the things that the shop sell. Um. So let's do a combined list. So um, what I gotta do is that I gotta check everything that Matt got. So let's make a copy of the list of Tom. So so what I gotta do is that I'll import. Remember import copy that we done last time. So so first of all, the list will be just Tom's list, the copy of Tom's list, right? So so be Tom shopping. And then I will go through everything in Matt shopping. If it's not in the Tom's shopping, I'll just put it in the combined list. So for item in Matt's shopping list, if item not in um, Tom shopping, then I would combine list will have this item. Okay, it's very simple. So let's print it out to see like print um combine shopping. Let's make it fancier. So the combine list is the combine list is a combined list. All right. Oop. Yeah. And now we're gonna calculate how much they're gonna pay if they buy all the items in this combined list. So for again item in combined list, So we gotta have a total amount. So total amount. Oops, what am I doing? Will be 0 for now, and for item in combined list, total amount will be. So this is a shorthand, right? Plus equals to actually is like equals to total amount. Oops. Plus plus the price. So let's actually you can just do it like this, right? Catalog. But as I said, like there are many ways of doing things in Python. If it works, congratulations. Don't worry too much about beautiful and stuff. And the way I do it here maybe it's like it will be different from how you do it. It's fine. Um, so catalog of this item. So it will give me back this price and it will be added to the amount. So like I said, I don't want to type total amount 2 times, so I can just do a shorthand here. Right. So like I said, like again, you don't have to do it this way using plus equals to if you think it's too difficult to understand, but you just type total amount again. But for me, I'm lazy, so um yeah, and I would print they spend let's say they're in pounds. Nope. Mm, they span. Uh, so this says total amount in total. Okay, let's try. Oop, error. Oh, I've changed the name of it. Sorry, it's not this anymore. This is combined shopping, combined checkout. There is a typo because it shouldn't be a bracket here. I don't what am I doing? Right. Yep. So the combined list is this. So you see that there's no redundant toilet paper. Like I don't want them to stock too many toilet paper. It's good enough for them to use if they only got one pack. So they spend 20.4 pounds in total. So yeah, that's it. For now, and homework. Homework is the exciting bit. This is what I want you to do. So today's homework actually is just one file, but it's actually 2 sessions. There is a bonus bit that it involves Monte Carlo simulation. It's actually quite challenging, this homework, I think. But maybe I will show you the answer next time, but I really want you to try. So what I gotta do is that I gotta new folder. This examples. I forgot examples. Yeah. So I would put this in examples, and I got a new file. I'm sorry, new folder. So it's like homework. So in homework, we'll have a new file. This is called one number bingo. Oop. Let me save it first. Save one number bingo.py. Right. So so I buy a ticket. So actually, it's like a lucky draw. So there will be one number that wins. It's like from 1 to 999. So um, so each time when I buy a ticket which got a number for me, if this number matches with the winning number, then I win. I haven't set the price yet. I have to do this simulation to see in average how much people would spend to win, so I know how to make a profit. For example, I'm the casino or something. Um, so buy a ticket. Let's say it's like £3. I think £3 people are happy to buy it. Let's say. Um, then yeah. So how much people will have to pay to win the game in one go? So let's assume there's a random person coming in. This person will buy the ticket until he wins. So yeah. So what we got to do now is that, first of all, how to generate a random uh, number. There's actually a method of doing it. It's called random.randin, and I would copy the syntax here. So I should put it here as a tip, but anyway, I would do it for you here, so it's fine. Um, so random.randin is a start and a stop. So what we gotta have will be, so start will be 1, and stop like the range, so it won't be 999, it will be 1000. And so this will be, so we have to import random. So this will be the I'll put it in the comments so you can copy it, right? So to pick a random number, so you use this, right? So okay, you use it anywhere you want. I give you the flexibility of doing it, and so yeah, like so let's say the winning number um, will be also random. Right. So I have no idea what this is, and um, so now you have to do while true. So again, pay attention. No, you know what? I should teach you how to stop your Python program when it's into infinite loop. So let's say I do something here. So oh, by the way, pass lets you, so it's like a placeholder for like if you do nothing, you just say pass. So what we would experience now is that if we run this, right? Oh, typo. Why is this like it? Did I put it in the right place? I didn't put it in the right place. Okay, sorry about that. Let's put it in the right place. It's here. Okay, right. Mm-mm. So now you can see that in my terminal, it's just hanging there because I have this infinite loop that basically do nothing but continue like to go through it again and again and do nothing. So how are you gonna stop this? You gotta press Control C. Oh, not, I'm not pressing the right. Oh yeah. If you press Control C, then you can see this is like keyboard interrupt. It just means that stop this program. No, 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 I've made a mistake. Stop it, please. So yeah, do a Control C if you made a mistake. And yeah, so this is for you to write, right? So I was just like, so you just write your own thing here. So pass is a placeholder, you delete it and then write your own thing. So replace with up what your script, and I would say at the end like press Control to stop infinite loop program. Yeah, right. And so it's like looping. So maybe you want to calculate how much. So that would be like a sum total amount spent. So total spend. So you want to calculate that. Okay, I'll leave you to this. And the second bit, I'll explain a little bit. So Monte Carlo simulation means that, so this will be one person trying it. So Monte Carlo simulation is that instead of having one person trying it, imagine you have, let's say, 10,000 people trying it. So 10,000 people trying it, then you can have an average of how much people spend in average. So because this person could be extremely lucky and just got it in the first go, or this person could be super unlucky and like have to try a million times. So, but you want to have a reasonable time, how much time people need to try to win. So, so that's why statistics come in, right? So you want to, so instead of finding 10,000 people, you just simulate it. So you write a program, you know, just tell the program do it 1,000 times, as if there's like 10,000 people. So and you can take the average. So that's it. If you're interested, you can Google Monte Carlo simulation. It's something to do with a statistic and data science. So if you're into like data like science stuff, definitely try to Google Monte Carlo simulation as well. Um, yeah, I think that's me for this week, and it's 1 hour and a half. Yeah, I said I gotta change it to 1 hour and a half, and that's it. Like I think from now on, that's more reasonable. Just 1 hour is not enough for me to explain so many things. Um, yeah, so thank you so much. So next week, I gotta talk about functions. So now you can, you know, so now we write a program having a variable kind of fixed, right? We set it in the program. So for functions, you can actually take a variable and as an argument. So you can take an input kind of and run your program and give the output and pass it back. So this is super cool. And modules like random copy. We got to touch a little bit about it, explain a little bit what is a module. Um, we may try to write a simple one. This is quite starting to be more and more advanced. Um, I don't know whether I should cover class and stuff. I think if you're interested, I think Naomi did some streaming before to explain. So please, go to Naomi's Twitch channel. I think you can find her recording before as well. That would be more like an advanced topic. I think I won't be touching them soon. But I gotta try to explain module a little bit. Um, I don't know whether that would be too advanced, but I would try. I think it's good to understand that because sometimes I would still be a little bit confused. So to understand it beforehand would be good. And so yeah, like thank you so much for watching. And yeah, like I always said, please try to watch me live. That would really encourage me to do more. I can answer questions. I know it's early on Sunday. I wake up early as well, but I think it's good that we sit together and learned it together. Um, and I also have other programs. Wednesday lunchtime we have Meet Pie. We now started in interview people. So next week we'll have Naomi. So like I said, she is you may already heard about her. She is the director of the Python Software Foundation. Oh, by the way, there's like a donate link down there in Twitch that donate to Python Software Foundation. This is the organization that make Python like available for everybody. So please check them out. And well, Naomi, she's the director of the Python Software Foundation, and she's been, in the Python community for a long time, very experienced, and that's very interesting thing that we can learn, like we know from her from the interview. So please check that out, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.